यार देखो, इंटरव्यूअर के आईक्यू पे जाकर के हमको आंसर करना है।
बराबर।
आप अपने इंट्रोडक्शन कहाँ पर एंड करते हो, इट प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल। स्टैक में जो टॉप मोस्ट एलिमेंट रहता है भाई, वो सबसे पहले पॉप होता है।
बहुत कुछ चीजें मालूम पड़ी अभी।
आपने अगर एक चीज नोटिस की हो, मैंने अपने आपके इंटरव्यू के स्टार्टिंग के 5 मिनट आपसे टेक्निकल कुछ नहीं पूछा। व्हाट काइंड ऑफ गर्ल यू वांट टू मैरी विद?
बेटा, मन में लड्डू फूटा।
हेलो साहिल, a very good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay, Sahil. I'm also good, Sahil. Very good. Could you please introduce yourself
Yeah, sure.
in bit detail?
Yeah, sure. So, myself Sahil Sachin Donde. I'm from Mumbai. I'm currently pursuing my BTech in Computer Science and Engineering from VIT Chennai. So, my current CGPA is 9.07. I'm currently doing an internship at Pfizer as a tech analyst. So, my technical interests include making projects. I've made projects in Merge Tech, such as Google Keep App clone using React and Redux. Then I've made a weather web app project using Node and Express. Then I've also made some RESTful APIs using MongoDB and Node. So I'm currently working on a full stack project where this project would be used for a real-time tiffin service business. And I've also worked on a project where NLP is used, where we had worked in a team there. We had created a medical bot such that that medical bot would predict the diseases based on the symptoms we give as an input through audio speech. So then I use Java as my programming language, and my favorite computer science subjects are OOPS and DBMS. And blockchain is the new emerging technology which I'm fascinated to, and I'm reading about it to get more insights of it. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, Sahil, could you tell me something about your family background? You have not introduced that in your
Yeah, sure.
introduction.
So, in my family, we have four members. So, me, my mother, my father, and my younger sister. So, my mother is a software engineer. So, she works as in a L&T, that is LTI Infotech. And my father is administrative. He works as administrator in US consulate. So, they are currently working in Mumbai itself. And my younger sister is in class 12. So, she has taken commerce. So, yeah.
Okay. And about your personal skills, soft skills,
Yeah,
basically, and
sure.
your hobbies.
Yeah, sure. So, in my free time, I like designing. So, graphic designing is the field in which I spend time. So, I am also part of the social media team of my VIT of my college. So I'm working since past 8 to 9 months. So we are a group of 11 people. So daily we have decided and divided the work among team, and every once in a week we get to design a post and post it on the social media of such as LinkedIn, Instagram, on those page of VIT channel. So, and also coming to,
Okay.
I like.
You have, yeah.
Got it.
Continue.
And as part of playing, I like sports. So I play badminton, table tennis, and cricket. So these are my favorite games. Yeah.
Okay. You have mentioned about your college and its activities. I just want to ask you the top 5 specialty of your college.
So, one of the main specialty is that VIT promotes research work. So, if anyone wants to do any new thing or wants to make any project which is based on new emerging technology, so it provides the facility for it, and it also provides faculties to mentor the students. Then I would also say that we have a fully flexible system, that is FFCS. So it allows the students to choose the faculties and also the subjects by itself, so that it's based on the students, and it is based on completely the pointers CGPA. So those who have higher CGPA will get a chance to register first, and similarly for the hostel also we get a chance based on the CGPA. And then VIT also promotes research papers, means publication of various papers, so that we have around 2 to 3 projects per semester. So in every project the faculties insist us to carry forward this project to a research work, so that the paper will be published and we can put in our resume, so that this would feel little good. Okay.
Okay. Your college is more or less inclined towards research.
Yeah, yeah.
Aren't you interested in research work?
Yeah, actually, we made some projects and we forwarded to the faculties for research. So they have a separate plagiarized system. So I tried. We actually we have a team of three where from the second semester, first semester itself, we work in a team together. So we make projects and make the research paper also by ourselves. By we try to reduce the plagiarism as minimum as possible, but sometimes the content comes as plagiarized from the faculties, so we cannot so the paper is not pushed ahead. So that idea sometimes get, but I'm interested in research too.
You're interested in research, so why you might have heard about the 3 years MTech program,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is basically MTech RA, which is based on research only. So why don't you want to pursue that from a good IIT or ISC maybe?
Yeah, actually, I'm planning to do an MTech course, but actually, I want to just spend my at least one year in IT industry, so to get whether my liking is towards it or not. So after my graduation, I'm thinking to prepare for the GATE exam, so that after while preparing for GATE and side by side by doing the job, I would apply for MTech jobs also, and also I will try for PSU jobs also. So
But Sahil, we won't be able to take your candidature forward because just for the sake of 1 year, you'll be serving our company for 1 year. We are not interested in spending time with you or in spending time to train you,
no,
because we are
no.
looking for candidates who are there as a part of our company, at least for a long term basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And there are
Actually,
many candidates who are ready to work with us
yeah.
for a long when long tenure basically.
Yeah, actually, I would like to work for the company for your company TCS, because I have researched a lot about it. So actually, my plan is very little bit. Means if I get into such a reputed company like you, so then I would surely drop the idea of MTech, because the idea of going to MTech was only if I do not get any proper company or any reputed company. So only for that reason, the second option was that. But if I'm able to join your
But
company.
as per your statement, you said that after 1 year I'll be, preparing for exams and PSUs and joining MTech.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that was only for the those companies if I'm not interested in just to enter into the IT sector. So if I get any company, I would take it rather than wasting my time. I would take any company which is not of my interest. Then I would obviously try for higher studies. But if I join like companies like TCS, Infosys, like you, so obviously these are top IT companies, and I would obviously surely drop the idea of MTech, because the idea of going for MTech is to go in some better reputed companies by spending time. But now only if I'm able to join, then surely I will drop the idea.
Okay. And out of TCS and Infosys, what would you prefer and why?
TCS, because I know that the work culture of TCS is very good, as I've heard from my seniors and also some of my relatives who work in it. And those, and also there is a lot of learning opportunity in it. So it has as I had heard in the news that in 2018, I think TCS has listed in has been TCS was the first company to cross the $100 billion in terms of market capitalization. So this thing also fascinated me. And then also along with TCS, I would also like to grow up and contribute to the team. So for these
Okay.
reasons I
Coming to your yeah, coming to your technical skills, you have mentioned in your resume that you are good with C, C++, Java, and Python. And you're a five-star coder at HackerRank. And you also know web development, database, Java frameworks, MERN development. Great enough. So I want to ask you a very simple question. Suppose I have stored a variable in a static memory. So what is the lifetime of that variable?
So whenever we create any block that is curly braces, so you are asking in terms of object-oriented static, that word, or just any
No,
random
I
block?
am asking you about. I'm not asking about any programming language. I'm
Okay.
asking the behind mechanism of a programming language.
Yeah.
Suppose I store any variable in static memory.
Okay.
So
Static.
what is going to be the lifetime of that variable? I think this is not dependent on any language.
No, 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 no. So basically,
Yeah.
the lifetime of the variable would be existed only when only till its usage, means when the scope of the variable gets over. So then, and if we talk about C or C++, then we need to automatically that variable would be destroyed. But if we talk about Java, so the garbage collector will be running, so that that memory would be freed up. So only till the scope of the block, that would be the lifetime of the static variable.
Okay, so you are saying basically lifetime will be the scope only.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Uh, what is dangling pointer and what is wild pointer?
Sorry, sir. Actually, I don't know this.
Okay. Okay. Suppose in programming we write n plus plus at a location,
Yeah, yeah.
and on the other location we write n is equals to n plus 1. Which will execute faster and why?
N equal to n plus 1 will execute faster because when we write n plus plus, so first whatever operations is being used with n plus plus, so first that operation would be occurring place, since it's a post increment. So first, let's suppose we write a equal to n plus plus. So first the actual value of n would be transferred to a, and then the n value would be incremented. So and n equal to n plus 1, it will increment the value of n that there itself.
So out of n is equals to n plus plus, n is equals to n plus 1, and n plus plus, you are saying n is equals to n plus 1 will execute faster
Yeah, yeah.
because n plus plus is post increment. Okay.
Yeah.
Out of plus plus n and n is equals to n plus 1, which will execute faster?
Uh, According to me, it should work like both should be executed at the same time, because for the actual value of n is incremented before the actual usage in any expression.
Okay, great. Why are classes and objects designed, and what are the real life applications of these?
Yeah, so classes and objects are such that if we take an example, a real life example of a student, so student has lot many records. He has name, age, roll number, subjects, and so forth. So if we store data, so if we store in a normal way, like in a procedural oriented way, so here we need to store it in separate variables. So there wouldn't be any logical collection of the collection of these things that represent one particular subject, one particular student. Sorry. So when, coming to the class and object concept, we can define a particular schema or a class where we can say that these are the properties of the object, properties of this particular student, and these are the functions of this particular student. So so any particular object corresponds to that student, and the values and the functions of that student can be stored in an object. So we can say that this object is a fully corresponds to one student. So there's a logical grouping where
Okay.
an object, yeah.
Okay. What is the difference between data encapsulation and data hiding
Yeah, so
and data
whatever
abstraction? I need
okay,
to ask the difference between the three: data encapsulation, data hiding, and data abstraction. Are these the same, or there is any
yes,
difference between them?
these basically three are the properties of OOPS concept. So among the five, so data encapsulation, as I told now, that logical grouping of objects is data encapsulation. So data hiding is that if we want any particular field to be hidden from the rest other developers. Let's suppose we are creating any library management system. So there, let's suppose there's a module where we need to enter the book ID, and there's a rule that book ID shouldn't be greater than zero. Should be greater than zero. Shouldn't be negative. So if any particular developer, he doesn't know that rule, he can simply write that b.bookid is -1. So this -1 will directly store in book ID, and this will corrupt our data. But instead, if we make the book ID as public rather than private, so we can write that if a negative value is coming, then we can either positive it, make negate it so that it becomes positive, or we can directly say
Okay.
that book -1 can't be inserted. So this is data hiding. So we can hide the data. We
Okay.
can Yeah. So and coming to data abstraction. So here, let's suppose we are designing a car. So so there are various functions: shift gear function, then accelerate function, brake function. So we need not go into the depth that how these functionalities are implemented. We just call them and we just use them. So so this way, it has reduced a lot of amount of work. Uh, so, but if we go in depth, then lot of time would increase for building that project. So this is data abstraction.
So data hiding has anything to relate with the building time of the project, or is it about the
No, no, no.
simplicity for the end user?
No, data hiding is
I'm
only
asking about.
good.
I'm very sorry. I'm asking about data abstraction. As you said, data abstraction
Yeah,
is we only showcase the necessary part and hide
yeah,
the development part of any particular project. So
yeah,
you are saying this is to save, a considerable amount of building time,
yeah, right.
right? So this actually saves the building time, or is it makes more convenient to the end user or the middle level developers of your team?
This is convenient for the middle level developers because it is also possible that there are two classes and class A and class B. So class A has some functionalities defined in it, and two different developers are working on each class. So class B needs some functions to access from class A. So he need not go and see that how class A is implemented. Rather, he can directly call the functions of class A and just use it for his purpose. So
Okay.
this is for me.
I'm designing a program where I'll be giving you a time as input, basically hours and minutes. These two parameters will be the input for you. I want you to design a code. I'm not asking you to write the code. I want the logic. I want you to design a code where you need to find the angle, the smallest possible angle between the hour and the minute hand.
Okay. So so there's a formula for it. So it is like 30 times h means 30 times hour minus 11 by 2 times minute. So this will give the actual angle. And if we want the reflex angle, then we can just subtract it from 360.
Okay, okay, fair enough. You are, you said that in your web development part, you are good at HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So, how many types of headings are there in HTML?
Six tags. H1, H2
Okay.
till H6.
Suppose I have written my entire content in the body part and I want to convert it in tabular form. How can we do that?
In body part. So we can use table stack for it. So table is
Okay.
the main root element. Then in it we can use tr, that is table rows. And if we let's suppose there are three rows, then we can make three trs by enclosing it. And inside it, let's suppose there are three columns in it. So we can make use of td tag, that is table data. So we can so
Okay.
this way we can type.
So the method which you have suggested is basically manually creating a table and then filling the data entries, right? But
Yeah, right.
HTML allows you a beautiful tag wherein using just single tag you can directly convert the data of your body into tabular form.
Okay.
Do you know about that particular
No, no,
tag?
sorry, I'm not aware of it.
Okay, the tag is T body tag. Using T body tag, you can directly convert the body of your HTML into the body of your basically project into tabular form. Great. Yeah, about the latest technologies, I just want to confirm it once again. What you are currently working on?
Uh, as a project doing, or actually I'm also reading about blockchain, but I haven't made
Okay.
any projects on it. So shall I tell about it?
No, I want. Are you interested in machine learning, basically artificial intelligence, data science, machine learning?
Yeah, yeah, data science, machine learning. I'm interested, but I haven't made any projects on it, but I am interested in it.
Okay, okay, okay. Do you know what is overfitting in machine learning?
Yeah, actually, yeah, yeah, right. So if we train the data on the training on if we train the model on using the training data, but if we use lot of training data such that we can see that the line that is corresponds to the actual value and the predicted value, they are equal, means the actual and predicted values are same only for the training data but not for the testing data. So we can see that lot of values overlap only for the training data. So this way we can see that the model only fits or the only gives the correct values only for the training data but not for the testing data.
Okay,
And this
okay.
and the reverse of
And
it is the under.
I also want you to write the logic for one more program. Suppose I have 100 entries with me and I create an array of size 100 and fit all those 100 entries into the array. Now these 100 entries are basically numbers from 1 to 100, not necessarily that I include every number and not
Okay.
necessarily that I include every number once. So
Okay.
there may be some numbers whose frequency are greater than 1, there may be some numbers whose frequency are 1, there may be some numbers whose frequency are 0, right?
Yeah.
So I need to find which all numbers are present in my array of size 100 and what is the frequency of each element. just the same way that we do in statistics. I want to create a statistical
Yeah,
data
right.
where in the left column you need to write all the entries which are present in an array, and in the right side you want to enter the frequencies of them.
Yeah. So here I would like to use a map data structure where the key values I can just start iterating through the arrays, and I could just tell that I would just tell in Java. So we can say that map dot put array of I. So inside the loop, map dot put array of I, comma 0. So this is the initial value. So every time if a particular every time when we iterate through the loop, so we will just get the value of corresponding key. So let's suppose one has the corresponding value 0. That is, initially we can set one as 0, and we can increment. That is, just get the value which is stored in the map and just increment if one is occurred again in the array. So this way, after the end of the loop, we can see that the key contains all the unique elements, and the values contain all the counts of those particular unique elements. So this way we can
Okay,
get.
the logic takes time complexity of order of 1, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Order. No, actually, this since we are iterating through the array, so it will take order of n. But getting and putting into the map, this will take order of n.
Okay. Your solution is good, in fact, great, but this is not implementable for the practical life solutions. See, whenever we deal with data, we usually deal with strings, basically, maybe the name of persons, maybe the city, or suppose I create an array of strings where I have
Okay.
100 strings this time, and these are different names of person. So suppose there is a person called Aman, and I need to repeat the same program, but instead of numbers from 1 to 100 we have names this time. So you need to write Aman, the frequency of Aman is 5, the frequency of Suman is 10. So how
Yeah.
will you use hash maps now? Is it possible?
No, no. Here it would fail. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think here some
So
difficulty.
whenever we work in company, always the solution should be like it should solve real life problems, right? And
Right.
it should be portable. Suppose if you want to change a data value, obviously it will take little effort to convert the code, but the logic should be same. No
Right.
worries. Coming to your project, I'm little interested in knowing about the detailings of your project, weather web app using the real time API.
Yeah, sure. So,
Yeah.
actually, I've already a API has been built. So in that it contains various cities and the corresponding humidity value, then pressure, temperature, then what's the time of sunset, sunrise. So these values are already been depicted. So
Okay.
using Node, I've just extracted that API using Axios function of JavaScript, and then I've just converted that API. Actually, basically, it's a JSON file which is available
Okay.
on their web. So I've converted JSON
Okay.
object into a JavaScript object using the parse function, and then I've displayed it. So actually, this was just to test the API. It was during my initial phase of learning this Node Express and all. So for testing purpose and how to use the already existing API and displaying it on the UI. So for that, I'd made it.
Okay. Uh, your GPI is 9.07 out of 10.
Yeah,
In which semester you scored the maximum marks?
second semester. It was
Could you?
9.78.
It was
9.78.
9.78. Could you please name the subjects of second semester?
Uh, DBMS, then digital logic design. Then we these were the two subjects of computer science, and German was the language as a French language as a foreign language. Then physics was there, and also maths, statistics for engineers. These six subjects were
Okay.
there.
Okay. Great. 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 Coming to your work experience, about your internships and projects which you have done.
Yeah. One I have done as a internship as a web development and designing intern at the Sparks Foundation. So there we were asked to create a banking application. So there, that I had made using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP. PHP I had used for the backend, and MySQL I had used for the database. So there, it's like my portal was like for admin purpose, means no actual user would be using for it. So the admin would get
Okay.
request from the user that we want to insert a particular money in our account, or we need to withdraw the money from a particular account, or we need to transfer the money. So these operations would be carried out through that admin. So for that portal was there. So yeah.
Okay. And coming to your projects, I'm interested that were these group projects you have mentioned a total of 4 to 5 projects, if I'm not
Yeah, yeah.
wrong. So were these group projects or were these individual projects?
So these all are individual projects. Only the e-commerce web application. This was the group project which I had made in the third semester.
And what was your role in that?
So I was making of the cart section, cart and save for later.
Okay.
Like in Amazon app,
Okay.
we can see that add to cart and save for later, both options are there.
Yeah. So we were into out of the two,
Yeah,
graphic designing and web development.
yeah.
What would you prefer and why?
Yeah, I would prefer software engineering, that is, or web development over graphic designing, because I have seen myself that graphic designing is a field such that I can spend little 1 hour or maximum 1 hour, because while taking time out from the hectic schedule, but it I can't continue it for long hours. But rather, I can see that when I'm developing any project or working on any project, so that gives me little boom or interesting, so that I can work for hours. So, and I can see that whenever I do anything, and if I get success, that the output, the project is working as the same way as I want. So that feels me a little fascinating. So I would prefer software engineering.
But in TCS, we have recently started graphic designing. So
Yeah.
there is a little more vacancies, and your chances are selection are more. So and we offer higher package also. Then also you won't be converting to graphic designing.
No, sir. I would rather prefer my choice. So I would go for, I would rather like to go for software engineering or web development field.
Okay. Where do you see yourself 15 years from now? Academically also, and in your personal life also.
Yeah. So in the next 15 years, I would like to see myself in some a leading position, that I would lead some particular people, or for a particular team, I would be leading that, and I would be having some more responsibilities, and I would be more knowledgeable in that in a particular domain rather than I am now. And in terms of personality, I would be little more mature. And apart from that, I would also train my juniors or encourage them to give their best. And yeah, so this.
Any personal goals for the next 15 years?
Yeah, so for the personal goal is that I would like to be a product manager. That I would like to see that I am collecting the requirements from the client side. Let's suppose any a restaurant is there, and it's the client for us, and they need a mobile app or web app for their business. So they have approached us. So I would see that I would be in such high position that I would be sitting in front of them, and I would collecting their requirements. So yeah.
Okay. Sahil, if I want to ask you one reason uh, so that we do not hire you, one weakness which you think might be a cause of your rejection in this interview.
Yeah, I think one of them is actually whenever I'm doing anything, or let's take example of doing any project, or so that case, whenever I'm facing some issues or errors or technical errors, that I'm not getting the desired output as I'm expected. So actually, I don't get up from my seat. I just go on till I found the errors. So sometimes it has happened that I've spent some hours of night, that till 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock I've been facing. So since I do not get sleep, that it constantly goes on my mind that whether I have not solved the error. So this time, so due to this, it also happens that my sleep cycle gets disturbed. And since I am a morning person, I like to go some for a morning walk and then start my schedule. So due to this, my morning schedule gets disturbed. So this way, it also hangs out for the day, and the work doesn't go properly as it must be. So this is the weakness and I would try to improve it.
Okay. Are you comfortable with night shifts?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with night shifts.
Okay. Okay, and one little situational question I just want to ask you. Suppose you are the project lead and
Okay.
you have just one vacancy left in your team, and you have to make a choice between two people. The first one is a brilliantly experienced candidate who has been working in our company since last 30 to 40 years. His experience might take your project to next level, but your project currently requires a coder. The person is a good experience wise but not a very good coder. On the other hand, the second choice, you have a newbie, new enthusiast who has recently joined the company, who doesn't have any experience but is a next level top notch coder. So whom are you going to choose and why?
Um, I would prefer the experienced one because it's not that like we have only one coder. We would also have some many coders in it. So if it's any such experienced person comes into our team, so he can guide those coders which are already present. Since he is most experienced, so he knows that what is good or what is not good. So according to that, he can train or he can just tell that do these things and do not do these things to the already existing coders. And but if we hire the coder, the highly talented coder, so he knows coding, it's fine, but he doesn't know to deal with the situation because he is new to the company and new to the field. So this is the reason I would prefer for the experienced candidate.
Okay. What kind of girl you want to marry with?
Actually, I haven't think. Actually, I'm not into all this. I haven't think yet anything. So I'm just focusing on
Okay.
my career.
Okay. Anything you want to ask to us?
Yeah. When any fresher joins, so how does the training happens and how it goes all about and how is project allocated to that candidate after the training completes.
Okay. First of all, you will be given a choice of out of 10 technologies, you'll be given a choice of three technologies which you have to select. Based on your selection, we'll be trying our level best to train you in the same, right? And allocate your project in the same. But in case we do not have any vacancies for that, then we'll ask you to compromise or wait for the bench period. So you might either choose to wait for it, or you might, compromise with the technology which you are given with.
Okay.
Okay. Sure, thank you so much. It was nice to talk to you, Sahil.
Yes,
Your
sir. Thank you,
result
sir.
will be conveyed via email shortly. Thank you so
Okay, sir.
much.
Thank you, sir.
ओके साहिल, सो दिस वाज द एंड ऑफ इंटरव्यू. अभी थोड़ा सा फीडबैक की बात कर लेते हैं. सबसे पहले तो मैं आपसे फीडबैक पूछना चाहता हूँ, लाइक आपने इंटरव्यू इससे पहले कहीं दिया है क्या इंटरव्यू?
हाँ, हाँ। एक इंटरव्यू दिया है जहाँ पे अभी मेरा इंटर्नशिप चल रहा है। सो वो मेरा पहला
ओके.
इंटरव्यू है सितंबर 2021 अक्टूबर
हाँ,
सॉरी।
थोड़ा इंटर्नशिप का इंटरव्यू थोड़ा सा लाइक बीटा
जी हाँ,
वर्जन होता है, लाइट वर्जन होता है. हाँ
राइट,
हाँ.
राइट, बराबर।
तो अच्छा, साहिल बिफोर दिस मॉक इंटरव्यू एंड साहिल आफ्टर दिस मॉक इंटरव्यू, कुछ इम्प्रूवमेंट, कुछ चेंजेस विच
हुँ,
यू
हुँ।
फील कि यार चमका है जो?
हाँ, मतलब बहुत कुछ चीज़ें मालूम पड़ी अभी मतलब आई वाज़ मतलब मैं वो चीज़ बोलने वाला था, तो अभी लग रहा है कि ये चीज़ इतना ही बोलना ठीक है, इस पे ज़्यादा डिटेल गए, तो शायद से वो इंटरव्यू उस डायरेक्शन में चला जाएगा। जैसे कि रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट है ये मतलब ये मैं इतना इंटरेस्टेड नहीं हूँ मैं, बट कैसा मैंने थोड़ा ज़्यादा बोला जिसकी वज़ह से इंटरव्यू जो ले रहा है, वो थोड़े उस बात पे चले गए। सो ये मुझे
हाँ,
लगा
देखो
कि
क्या होता है ना, हम कुछ कुछ प्लानिंग्स करके आते हैं. अगर वो प्लानिंग ठीक तरीके से हम एग्जीक्यूट ना करें एंड इफ वी गो विद द फ्लो, तो
या
कई बार चीजें गड़बड़ हो जाती हैं. ठीक
हुँ,
है. अच्छा, एक चीज और, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल ना, कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ लीडिंग द इंटरव्यू में भी आपने सुना होगा.
हुँ,
स्टैक में जो टॉप मोस्ट एलिमेंट रहता है भाई, वो सबसे पहले पॉप होता है. माइंड ऑल्सो वर्क्स इन स्टैक, कंडीशन, स्टैक डेटा स्ट्रक्चर, कि भाई जो चीज रिसेंटली मैंने सुनी, आई विल बी आस्किंग क्वेश्चन ऑन दैट.
राइट,
सो आप अपना इंट्रोडक्शन कहाँ पर एंड करते हो, इट प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल.
ओके,
और फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, अगर आपसे आपका इंट्रोडक्शन पूछा गया है, अगर वो आपसे पूछते हैं कि यार आप अपना टेक्निकल इंट्रोडक्शन दो, तो आप सिर्फ टेक्निकल के बारे में बताओ. लेकिन अगर इन जनरल वो बोल रहे हैं कि आप अपना इंट्रोडक्शन दो, है
ओके,
ना,
हाँ,
तो यू डोंट हैव टू, यू हैव टू इंक्लूड एवरीथिंग. मुझे पूछने की जरूरत नहीं पड़नी चाहिए थी
हुँ,
कि यार फैमिली बैकग्राउंड भी बताओ, पर्सनल भी बताओ,
राइट,
है ना. आपने अगर एक चीज नोटिस की हो, मैंने आपके इंटरव्यू के स्टार्टिंग के 5 मिनट आपसे टेक्निकल कुछ नहीं पूछा.
नहीं
क्यों?
नहीं।
क्योंकि आपके इंट्रोडक्शन से एक बात साफ थी कि यू वर प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर टेक्निकल।
राइट
यस।
राइट राइट,
तो
बराबर।
अनएक्सपेक्टेड चीजों में मेरा एम्प्लॉय कैसा रिस्पॉन्ड करेगा ये मुझे चेक करना जरूरी था।
हम्म।
तो मैंने आपके कॉलेज की 5 बातें पूछ ली विच वॉज अनएक्सपेक्टेड फॉर यू,
अनएक्सपेक्टेड, राइट।
है ना?
हाँ।
हाँ हाँ, ठीक है। चलो ये तो हो गई पहली बात। दूसरी बात, रेज्यूमे वाइज आई फील एवरीथिंग इज फाइन, बस आपको थोड़ा सा एक दो चीजें इम्प्रूव करना है। एक तो करियर ऑब्जेक्टिव लिखना बहुत जरूरी है ना?
ओके।
तो वॉट एवर यू आर डूइंग, आपने इतना सब कुछ किया है अपनी बीटेक में 4 साल में, एंड उसके पहले उसके बाद क्या पर्पस था उसका, आपका अल्टीमेट ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है? यू आर सबमिटिंग दिस रेज्यूमे टू मी, व्हाट आर योर एक्सपेक्टेशंस, व्हाट इज योर ऑब्जेक्टिव इन दैट? तो उसमें कोई टेक्नोलॉजी का नाम नहीं मेंशन करना होता है कि भाई मुझे ये टेक्नोलॉजी इनकेस नहीं हुई अवेलेबल तो it should be generic and naive. I would like to be a part of organization where I can utilize my interpersonal and technical skills and contribute to the best to the growth of organization as well as without overlooking my personal growth. इस तरह से
ओके, जेनरिक।
ठीक है। दूसरा, your resume is perfect but two things are missing. One is आपके कॉलेज का इसमें आइकन होना चाहिए, फॉर्मल रेज्यूमे है ये,
वर्ल्ड इज आइकन।
आपका फोटोग्राफ होना चाहिए। सेकंड थिंग, थर्ड थिंग, आपका डिक्लेरेशन होना चाहिए। नीचे लिखना पड़ता है हेयर बाय डिक्लेयर ऑल द इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइडेड इज करेक्ट टू द बेस्ट ऑफ माय नॉलेज, आपके सिग्नेचर एंड प्लेस एंड डेट।
ओके,
ठीक है, इन सब चीजों को इंक्लूड करो।
ठीक है।
और 10th के बारे में भाई क्या बुराई थी? 10th का कुछ भी नहीं मेंशन किया आपने।
हाँ, 10th का जस्ट
अगर मुझे
परसेंटेज में।
एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया चेक करनी है तो हाँ, जैसे 12th का मेंशन किया उसी तरीके से 10th का मेंशन करना है। और आपके जब सीजीपीए इतने अच्छे हैं, हम देखो क्या होता है ना, हर चीज, आपने कभी टेलीविजन का ऐड देखा क्या? अल्ट्रा एचडी, ब्यूटीफुल कलर्स, ऐसा वैसा, कूल लुक, स्लिम, है ना? कभी भी अपनी नेगेटिविटीज नहीं बताते। तो आपके इतने अच्छे सीजीपीए हैं, व्हाई नॉट ब्रेक इट डाउन इनटू ऑल द 6 सेमेस्टर्स?
ओके, हाँ, राइट। बस
Seeing
एक
9
में
CGPA one time
5 to
versus seeing 9 CGPA 6 times, which is better,
राइट
right? उसको
राइट।
थोड़ा सा improve कर सकते हैं। बाकी everything seems perfect, no issues in that. And coming to interview यार, I would say कि HR वाला पार्ट वॉज गुड, फ्यू आंसर्स वर वेरी गुड, है ना? जैसे जो आपने एक्सपीरियंस्ड वाला दिया, इट वॉज अ वेरी गुड आंसर, है ना? एंड द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग आई लाइक्ड अबाउट यू इज योर ऑनेस्टी। आपने बोला कि यार मुझे सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट चाहिए तो आई वोंट कॉम्प्रोमाइज विद पैकेज, आई विल कॉम्प्रोमाइज विद माई फील्ड, जो मुझे चाहिए वो आई एम देयर फॉर इट। ठीक है। उसके अलावा एक बात हमेशा ये कि जब भी आपसे पूछा जाए ना कि यार इंटरव्यूअर से कुछ पूछो, कभी भी ये मत पूछना कि यार ट्रेनिंग में मुझे क्या एलोकेट होगा क्या नहीं एलोकेट होगा।
ओके, हाँ।
इट शोज यू आर चूजी इन योर नेचर। आप 4-5 ऑप्शंस लेकर आए हो, ये कंपनी है वो कंपनी है, भाई मेरे अकॉर्डिंग जो ट्रेनिंग देगी मैं उसको चूज करूंगा। नहीं, इट शुड बी लाइक सर आपकी कंपनी में मैंने कुछ सीनियर से बात किया, बहुत एक्साइटमेंट हो रहा है, जस्ट वांट टू आस्क के डेली रूटीन कैसा होने वाला है एंड ऑल दैट। मतलब मुझे
वर्क।
ओवर टाइम करना पसंद है तो देयर विल बी, मेरे साथ कुछ एम्प्लॉयज होंगे क्या जो जिनके अंदर वो जील है, या ऐसा तो नहीं है कि मैं अकेला बैठा रहूंगा, एंड ऑल दिस थिंग। इन सब चीजों के बारे में पूछो, रूटीन के बारे में पूछो, एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज के बारे में पूछ सकते हो, या कुछ मे बी नेव कि सर आपने टीसीएस के कैंटीन में खाना खाया होगा, व्हाट इज योर फेवरेट फूड,
ओके, वैसे।
कैन आस्क दैट,
राइट।
चलेगा, बिल्कुल चलता है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है ना? एंड सुपर्ब। एंड यस, कमिंग टू योर टेक्निकल स्किल्स यार बहुत अच्छी हैं, आई वोंट डिनाई, बट चीजों को लिंक नहीं कर पा रहे थे आप, एकदम ब्रेक डांसर्स थे, आप भी फील कर रहे
हाँ,
होगे।
फ्री फील कर रहा हूँ।
वो इसलिए क्योंकि हमने एडवांस चीजों पर तो बहुत अच्छे से प्रिपरेशन कर ली, बट जो हमारी बेसिक फाउंडेशन है ना, उसमें एक जो लेयरिंग है ऊपर की वो मिसिंग है। तो थोड़ा सा जो बेसिक इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चंस है ना, उनको एक बार देख के जाना
ओके,
है ना?
ठीक है।
ठीक है, क्योंकि जो आपको इंटरव्यूअर मिलने वाला है ना पैनल में, ही माइट नॉट बी वेरी एक्सपर्ट विथ मर्न नोड वगैरह, इन सब पे इतना एक्सपर्ट नहीं हो सकता, बट मे बी हो भी और हो भी नहीं, लेकिन बेसिक चीजें तो उसको आती होंगी। तो मोरलेस ही विल बी आस्किंग क्वेश्चन ऑन बेसिक। हमेशा देखो इस चीज को ध्यान रखो, जब आप कंपनी में 5-6 साल काम कर लेते हो ना, यू हैव गिवन, आपको 2 चॉइस दी जाती हैं। वन इज टू कंटिन्यू इन द टेक्निकल पार्ट, द सेकंड इज टू गो इन द एचआर पार्ट।
ओके।
अब एचआर पार्ट कौन चूज करेगा? जिसका टेक्निकल बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा
बहुत
नहीं
ज्यादा
है।
अच्छा।
सो द मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट इज, इंटरव्यूअर का खुद का टेक्निकल इज लाइक बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा नहीं होता। मुझे ये सारी चीजें आती है जो आपने लिखी हुई है, मोंगो डीबी, जावा, एक्सप्रेस जेएस, नोड जेएस, ये सब मेरे को आती है, बट जानबूझ के मैंने आपको बेसिक चीजों में ही घुमाया, बिकॉज कहीं ना कहीं आप इन चीजों के लिए प्रिपेयर्ड थे,
राइट।
है ना?
बराबर।
तो थोड़ा सा इन सब चीजों का ध्यान रखना है। बेसिक क्रीम आप समझ गए ना यार? देखो,
सब
इंटरव्यूअर के आईक्यू में जाकर के हमको आंसर करना है,
बराबर।
ठीक है? हाँ, और ये तो प्लीज कभी गलती से किसी दूसरी कंपनी का नाम नहीं लेना है।
नहीं।
कंपनी लाइक टीसीएस, कंपनी लाइक इन्फोसिस नहीं, टीसीएस में ही जाना है। वही मेरा अल्टीमेट गोल था, है और रहेगा। सिंपल सा फंडा है।
बराबर।
एक चीज भाई, मैं आपके लिए बना हूं, आपके लिए आया हूं, मुझे आपकी ही कंपनी चाहिए, बस सिंपल सी बात। और कोई मेरा पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ है ही नहीं। दूसरा, एमटेक मुझे नहीं करना है
नहीं करना। ओके
भाई। मैं आप पर क्यों इतना समय दूं, क्यों आपको ट्रेनिंग करके इतना पैसा? ये वही बात हो गई, आपकी दुकान पे कोई बंदा काम करने आया, आपने उसको काम सिखा दिया, वो कल के दिन पड़ोसी की दुकान पे जाके काम करने लगा, है ना?
हमारा फायदा क्या?
तो ये बोलना ही नहीं। इसका आंसर आप देखो ऐसे क्यूरेट करके दे सकते हो, सर मुझे रिसर्च में इंटरेस्ट है एंड ऑल दैट, बट अभी थोड़ा सा मुझे सर पर्सनल एक्सपोजर का बहुत मन है। मेरे कॉलेज में वॉज मोर इनटू रिसर्च, मैं बहुत अच्छा था, बट पर्सनल एक्सपोजर की थोड़ी सी मुझे कमी लगी। तो अब मेरे को ज़ील है अंदर कि मुझे पर्सनल प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपोजर चाहिए कि भाई आईटी फील्ड वर्क कैसे करती है।
ओके।
है ना? और किसी भी चीज में सर कंट्रीब्यूट करना है तो मेरा मानना है कि रिसर्च इज इम्पोर्टेंट, बट जब तक हम प्रैक्टिकली फील्ड पर नहीं उतरेंगे तब तक कहीं ना कहीं मेरा जो सपना है टू कंट्रीब्यूट टू द नेशन वो पूरा नहीं हो पाएगा।
बराबर।
सिंपल,
राइट।
है ना? आप अपने और मेरे आंसर्स में डिफरेंस समझ रहे हो?
समझ रहे, हाँ समझ रहे हो।
हाँ, माय आंसर्स आर सुपर क्यूरेटेड कि भाई मुझे आपकी कंपनी में जाना है, मुझे नेशन को सर्व करना है, आई हैव अ लर्निंग ज़ील,
राइट।
है ना?
बराबर।
और आपके आंसर्स वो टुवर्ड्स कि यार मुझे टेक्निकल आता है, मुझे अपनी टेक्निकल स्किल्स का यूटिलाइजेशन करना है, कहीं भी करूं मैं,
कहीं भी, हाँ
है
राइट।
ना?
तो बराबर।
समझ रहे हो? तो ये थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस है, बाकी सब ऑल गुड है, कोई टेंशन नहीं है, ठीक है? चलो एंड करें इसको। कुछ आपको पूछना है
दो
मुझसे?
तीन चीज पूछना था। सो
हाँ,
अगर
पूछो।
इंटरव्यू ने मतलब अभी मेरा कैसा इंटर्नशिप चल रहा है, सो उसने अगर वहां पे मुझे घुमाया कि वहां पे करना है कि यहाँ पे करना है, तो उसका सब कैसे आंसर दे सकता हूँ?
नहीं, सिंपल बोलो कि सर मेरी इंटर्नशिप इसलिए चल रही है क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि आपकी कंपनी मुझे नेक्स्ट ईयर मई तक ज्वाइनिंग देगी, मैंने अपने सीनियर्स से पूछा हुआ है, तब तक मेरी इंटर्नशिप कंप्लीट हो जाएगी, खत्म बात।
हाँ मतलब अगर वहां पे अगर तुम लोग को कंटिन्यू करने को बोल रहे हैं और तुम्हें यहाँ पे भी
नहीं
मिला, तो ऐसे ऑप्शन में
नहीं,
नहीं।
आप आई डोंट नो आप कौन सी इंटर्नशिप में हो, बट जो इंटर्नशिप्स होती हैं या कहीं पर आप अब ऐसे तो आप बोल दो कि यार सर डे शिफ्ट टीसीएस में कर लेता हूँ, नाइट इन्फोसिस में कर लेता हूँ,
हाँ।
ये पॉसिबल इसलिए नहीं होता। सर मैं तो एमटेक भी कर लेता हूँ साथ में टीसीएस। देखो, आप किसी भी कंपनी में जाओगे ना, वो आपकी टीसी, ट्रांसफरिंग सर्टिफिकेट, जो आपको कॉलेज से मिला होगा ना, और आपकी मार्कशीट जब्त करके रखते हैं आपके पास, मतलब उनके पास, जब तक आप कंपनी लीव नहीं कर देते हो।
अच्छा।
और दूसरी कंपनी में ज्वाइन करने के लिए उनको भी जमा करनी है,
ओके।
समझ रहे हो? तो इट्स
बराबर।
लाइक एक चाबी है भाई, एक ही ताला खोल सकते हैं उससे,
हाँ मल्टीपल नहीं।
है ना? ये सीन होता है। हाँ हाँ, ठीक है।
और कि रेज्यूमे में कैसे मैंने ना ये सब भी मेंशन किया है, जैसे जावा एक्स, स्विंग, ये सब कैसे अभी मुझे इतना बहुत धुंधला है सब, मतलब ये सब मैंने बहुत वर्क किया है सेकेंड ईयर में
हाँ, इसमें मैं
ऐसे।
आने वाला था यार। देखो, पॉइंट क्या है ना साहिल, कि जब आप ज्यादा चीजें लिखते हो तो आपका कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ता नहीं है, अगर आप नोट करो कम होता है। यार कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं,
हाँ बराबर।
सिर्फ रेज्यूमे से सिलेक्शन नहीं होना। इंटरव्यू इसलिए तो होता है वो चेक कर पाए कि आपका रेज्यूमे कितना सच्चा है, कितना झूठा है, एंड दे वांट ऑनेस्ट पीपल,
ऑनेस्टली।
है ना? तो ज्यादा लिखने से सिलेक्शन नहीं होता, कम लिखो, बट वॉट एवर यू आर राइटिंग। मेरा रेज्यूमे इतना था, आधे पेज का था, सब्जेक्ट में डीबीएमएस, प्रोग्रामिंग में सी सी प्लस प्लस जावा, खत्म। प्रोजेक्ट भी मैंने 5-6 बनाए थे, एक मेंशन किया था। क्यों? क्योंकि भैया पैरों पे कुल्हाड़ी नहीं मारना था मुझे।
बराबर।
आप उनको 10 बता के, मतलब आपके रेज्यूम देखकर वो 10 एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं और आप 15 डिलीवर कर रहे हो ना, खुश हो जाएगा बंदा।
हम्म।
अब आपका रेज्यूम देख के 20 एक्सपेक्ट किया था, निकले 15। पहले भी आप सेम थे, अभी भी आप सेम थे, आप तो 15 ही हो ना,
हाँ बराबर।
बट एक वे ऑफ मेंटेलिटी चेंज हो जाती है। एनीवेज यार, इंटरव्यूअर है तो ह्यूमन ना, तो जो टेंडेंसीज हैं वो तो रहेंगी,
बराबर।
है
राइट।
ना। तो एक्सपेक्ट कम कराओ उनको, डिलीवर ज्यादा
ज़्यादा
करो।
करा।
मतलब ये वही बात हो गई कि आपको एक प्रोजेक्ट मिला है, अब मैनेजर की चाटने के लिए हम खूब बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर रहे हैं, जब एक्शन पे आए तो फुद्दू निकले।
वैसे।
वहीं दूसरा आदमी चुपचाप साइड बेंच पे बैठा है, सुन रहा है, लेकिन जब परफॉर्मेंस की बारी आई तो फाड़ दिया उसने,
राइट।
है ना।
तो अभी
ठीक है,
मैं
और
इसको
कुछ?
अपडेट करूँ, जैसे कि थोड़ा सा श्रिंक करूँ, सो कैन आई शेयर, मैं रेज्यूमे
हम्म
शेयर कर पाऊंगा वापस इंटरव्यूअर के साथ, क्योंकि
हाँ,
मेरे
देखो,
पास
इंटर
तो ऑलरेडी।
माइक्रोसॉफ्ट टीम्स पर आपको इंटरव्यू होगा,
हाँ।
तो आप गूगल ड्राइव का लिंक बना के रखना,
हम्म।
और उसका वो शेयरिंग ऑप्शन होता है, उसमें
शेयर।
एनीवन विद द लिंक का ऑप्शन आता है,
बराबर।
वो कर लेना,
हाँ।
और उनको आप टीम्स पे जो चैट ऑप्शन रहता है उसमें शेयर कर सकते हो।
बट वो अगर ऑलरेडी देख रहे हैं, सो तो मैं बोल सकता ना कि दिस इज द अपडेटेड वन एंड रेफर टू इट, बोल
हम्म,
सकता। ओके ओके, ठीक है।
हम्म, ठीक है। और वो पूछे कि भाई पहले भी सेम था, अभी भी सेम है, क्या डिफरेंस आया, तो उनको किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का नाम नहीं लेना, बस उनको ये बोलना कि वन ऑफ माय सीनियर वर्क्स इन टीसीएस, उनको मैंने रेज्यूमे दिखाया एंड उन्होंने मुझे कुछ कुछ इम्प्रूवमेंट सजेस्ट किए, तो वो इम्प्रूवमेंट्स इम्प्लीमेंट किए।
ओके।
इट शोज आपके अंदर जील है,
हाँ।
तभी तो आपने अपना रेज्यूम वेरीफाई कराया ना।
बराबर बराबर।
अदरवाइज तो आपने, इट shows that you are not taking this lightly,
लाइटली,
so the
राइट।
company will also not take it lightly,
हाँ राइट।
right?
बराबर। ओके।
Okay, anything else, Sahil,
नहीं सर,
or
तो
should we wind up?
गुड सर, थैंक यू बोलना चाहता हूँ सर,
Okay,
बहुत
all
कुछ
the best,
मालूम पड़ा।
all the best.
थैंक यू सर।
सो गाइज, दिस वाज द एंड ऑफ मॉक इंटरव्यू। मैं उम्मीद करता हूं आपने बहुत सारी चीजें सीखी होंगी। यदि आप भी अपना मॉक इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल कराना चाहते हैं तो डिस्क्रिप्शन में आपको लिंक दिख रही है, मॉक इंटरव्यू बाय यशजन सर। जा करके अपना मॉक इंटरव्यू जरूर से शेड्यूल कराएं, ताकि मैं आपको बता पाऊं कि आपने इंटरव्यू में कैसा परफॉर्म किया और क्या क्या आपके अंदर स्कोप ऑफ इंप्रूवमेंट है। वीडियो को लाइक करें, सब्सक्राइब करें, दोस्तों में शेयर करें। थैंक यू सो मच।